Hello, my name is Teacher Iman and welcome to GED Mathematics Live at PALS. In this video, I will be presenting the topic fractions. Here are the targets. Understand fractions, find equivalent fractions, reduce fractions to lowest terms, convert fractions to decimal and vice versa, convert mixed numbers to improper fractions and vice versa, and comparing fractions. To continue, let's start with understanding the basic of fractions. Fractions are a way of representing a part of some larger whole when the whole has been divided into an equal number of parts. The top of a fraction, or the number above the bar, is called the numerator. It represents the number of parts taken out of the whole. The bottom part of a fraction, the number below the bar, is called the denominator. It represents the number of equal parts in the whole. For example, the fraction 3 over 5 represents 3 parts of a whole that has been divided into 5 parts. The numerator is 3 and the denominator is 5. This figure represents the fraction 3 over 5. Let's proceed to equivalent fractions. Two different fractions can represent the same part of a whole. For example, on the figures on the screen, you can see that 2 over 4 is equals to 1/2. These are called equivalent fractions. If the numerator and denominator of any fraction are multiplied or divided by the same number, the result will be an equivalent fraction. For example, if you divide the numerator and denominator of 2 over 4 by 2, so divided by 2, the result will be the equivalent fraction 1/2. Okay, 2 over 4 is equals to 1/2, and they are called equivalent fractions. Let's look at some examples. Example 1, write a fraction that is equivalent to 1/4 but has a denominator of 12. The denominator of 1/4 is 4. Multiplying 4 by 3 will give a denominator of 12. But to produce an equivalent fraction, the numerator must be multiplied by the same number. So therefore, 1 times 3 is equals to 3. 4 times 3 is 12. So 1/4 is equivalent to 3 over 12. Let's look at example number 2. What number should replace the question mark? To get from 4 to 16, the numerator must have been multiplied by 4. Therefore, to make an equivalent fraction, the denominator must be multiplied by 4 as well. So 5 times 4, the answer is 20. So 4 over 5 is equivalent to 16 over 20. Let's proceed to reducing fractions to lowest terms. Fractions are said to be reduced or written in lowest terms if there is no whole number that will evenly divide both the numerator and the denominator. Examples of fraction written in lowest terms are 1/2, 3/4, 11/16, and 7/8. Why? Because no whole number that will evenly divide both the numerator and the denominator. Let's look at some examples. Example 3, write the fraction 8/10 in lowest terms. What number can divide 8/10? 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Can you still find a number that can divide both 4 and 5? No. So the lowest terms of 8/10 is 4/5. Example 4. Write the fraction 27/81 in lowest terms. So 27/81. If you divide 27/81, the easiest pick is 9, because we know that 27 can be divided by 9 and 81 can be divided by 9. So we can actually start with 9. So 27 divided by 9 is 3. 81 divided by 9 is 9. So we have 3/9. However, 3/9 can still be simplified by dividing the numerator and denominator by 3. So dividing the numerator by 3 and the denominator by 3, then we have 1/3 as the lowest terms of 27/81. So you will keep on dividing the numerator and the denominator by the same number until you got the numbers that can be divided anymore by any number. Let's proceed to try out, okay, to drill. Okay, let's have some drill. Okay, direction. For each of the following, write an equivalent fraction as indicated by either dividing or multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the same number. You can pause the video, try answering questions number 1 to 5, and then continue with the video so that you can check your answer. Are you done? Then let's solve. Write a fraction that is equivalent to 5/9 but has a denominator of 45. So the answer is 5/9 is equals to, the denominator is 45, so we have 25/45. Number 2, write a fraction that is equivalent to 1/7 but has a numerator of 21. 1/7 is equals to, numerator is 21, so 7 times 21 is 147. Number 3, what number should replace the question mark? So the numerator 2 becomes 24 by multiplying 2 by 12. So let's multiply 1 by 12. So the answer is 12. 1/2 is equals to 12/24. Number 4, what number should replace the question mark? 60 becomes 30 by dividing 60 by 2. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. So the question mark is 9. So 18 over 60 is equals to 9 over 30. Number 5, what number should replace the question mark? 35 over 45 is equal to 7 over question mark. So 35 divided by 5 is 7. So 45 divided by 5 is 9. So the question mark is 9. So we have 35 over 45 is equals to 7 over 9. Next part, write each of the following fraction in lowest term. Check your answer using calculator. Again, you can pause the video, try to answer questions 6 to 10. You don't need to check your answer using calculator because when you're done, when you continue the video, you will see the answer. Done? Here are the answers. Okay, number 6. 22 over 42 can be divided by 2. So we have 11 over 21. Number 7, 10 over 50 can be divided by 10. So we have 1 over 5. 12 over 16 can be divided by 4. So we have 3 over 4. 3 over 90 can be divided by 3. So we have 1 over 30. And number 10, 14 over 48 can be divided by 2. So we have 7 over 24. Okay, how many correct answers did you get? Next is fractions and decimals. Fractions and decimals can represent the same number. By dividing the numerator by the denominator, you can see what number or decimal is equivalent to the fraction. Let's see some example. Example 5, find the decimal that represents 3 over 5. By dividing the numerator by the denominator, you can see what number or decimal is equivalent to the fraction. So let's divide the numerator by the denominator. So 3 divided by 5, the answer is 0.6. So 3 over 5 is equivalent to 0.6 in decimal. Let's look at example 6. Find the decimal that represents 1 over 20. So again, numerator divided by the denominator. So 1 divided by 20, the answer is 0.05. So it means 1 over 20 is equivalent to 0.05 in decimal. Example 7. This is from decimal to fraction. So write 0.05 as a fraction in lowest terms. Decimals can be converted to fractions by using their place value and numbers like 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. The place value will tell us which number to use. Example number 7. Write 0.05 as a fraction in lowest terms. So what is the place value of 5? 100. So 5 over 100. Then simplify your answer by dividing the numerator and denominator by 5. Then we have 1 over 20. Example 8. Write 0.480 as a fraction in lowest terms. What is the place value of 0? The place value of the third digit after the decimal is thousands. So the denominator is 1000. So 480 over 1000 is equals to, when you simplify, 12 over 25. Let's proceed to drill. Okay, the direction. For each of the following fractions, find the equivalent decimal. Round your answer to the nearest hundredths place. Again, you can pause the video, try answering question number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then afterwards, you can continue to check your answer. Are you done? Okay, the answers are 3/4 is equals to 0.75. 2 over 5 is equals to 0.4. 1/4 is 0.25. 21 over 100 is equals to 0.21. 7 over 15 is equals to 0.47. Okay, another tryout. For each of the following decimal numbers, find an equivalent fraction and write it in lowest terms. Again, pause the video. Then after answering questions 6 to 10, continue the video so that you can check your answer. Are you done? The answers are number 6, 0.028 is equals to 28 over 1000 is equals to 7 over 250. 0.225 is equals to 225 over 1000 is equals to 9 over 40 in lowest terms. 0.16, okay, I'm going to write it here, number 8. 0.16 is equals to 16 over 100 is equals to 4 over 25. And then number 9, 31 over 100. And number 10 is 90 over 100 is equals to 9 over 10. So here are the answer. Okay, how many correct answers did you get? And now let's proceed to improper fractions and mixed numbers. Changing improper fraction or converting improper fractions to mixed number and mixed numbers to improper fractions. Let's consider the examples on the screen. Example 9, write 23 over 7 as a mixed number. 23 over 7 is an improper fraction because the numerator is larger than the denominator. So to change this to mixed number, all we need to do is divide the numerator by the denominator. So 23 divided by 7, the denominator 7 can divide the numerator 3 times with 2 left over. So therefore, 23 over 7 is equals to 3 and 2 over 7. Example 10. Write 11 over 8 as a mixed number. 11 over 8. The denominator 8 can divide 11 once with 3 left over. So 11 over 8 is equals to 1 and 3 over 8. The whole number answer is 1, okay, the whole number, and the leftover will be the numerator over the denominator 8. Let's continue with example 11. Write 6 2 over 3 as an improper fraction. So this one is from mixed number to improper fraction. So 6 and 2/3. So all you need to do is multiply the whole number to the denominator. So 6 times 3 is 18, and then add the numerator. So 18 plus 2 is 20 over the denominator 3. Example 12. Write 2 and 1/5 as an improper fraction. Multiply the whole number and the denominator. 2 times 5 is equals to 10 plus the numerator 1 is equals to 11. So the answer is 11 over 5. Let's try the following questions. Okay, rewrite each of the following improper fraction as mixed number and check your answer with your calculator. But this time you don't need to check your answer with your calculator. All you need to do is pause the video, find the answer, and then continue the video. The answer will be provided to you when you're done. Are you done? Here are the answers. Number 1, 19 over 5 is equals to 3 and 4 over 5. Number 2, 21 over 2 is equals to 10 and 1/2. Number 3, 95 over 20 is equals to 4 and 15 over 20. Or you can simplify it into 4 and 3/4. Number 4, 28 over 6 is equals to 4 and 4 over 6. Or you can simplify it into 4 and 2/3. Number 5, 45 over 8 is equals to 5 and 5 over 8. Now, rewrite each of the following mixed number as improper fraction and check your answer with your calculator. Again, this time you can pause the video, rewrite each of the following mixed number to improper fraction, and then continue the video. You don't need to check with your calculator because the answers will be provided for you when you continue the video. Are you done? Number 6, 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1 is 17 over 8. Number 2, 9 times 5 is 45 plus 3 is 48 over 5. 4 times 16 is 64 plus 1 is 65 over 16. 5 times 7 is 35 plus 5 is 40 over 7. 16 times 3 is 48 plus 2 is 50 over 3. How many correct answers did you get? And now let's proceed to comparing fractions and comparing fractions in decimals. So let's start with comparing fractions first. Ordering fractions from greatest to smallest or smallest to greatest is a skill that is commonly tested on the GED test. To order fractions correctly, you need to be able to compare fractions with each other. Comparing fractions with each other is easy if the denominators are the same. All you need to do is look at the numerator. However, to compare fractions with different denominators, you will need to find equivalent fractions with a common denominator. A common denominator is one number that can be used as a denominator for both equivalent fractions. So to find a common denominator for two different fractions, you can follow these steps. First, determine if one of the denominators can be divided by the other. If so, this larger denominator is a common denominator. Otherwise, multiply the two denominators and use the result as a common denominator. Let's try some example. Example 13. Use less than, greater than, or equal to compare the fractions 3/4 and 7/8. Looking at the denominators, 8 can be divided by 4. So 8 is the common denominator. So let's rewrite 3/4 using this denominator. So 3/4 can have a denominator of 8 by multiplying it by 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. So 3/4 is equivalent to 6/8. And 6/8 is less than 7/8. So therefore, 3/4 is less than 7/8. Example 14. Use less than, greater than, or equal to compare the fractions 3/5 and 8/9. Neither the denominator can be divided by the other. So the common denominator is their product. 5 times 9 is equals to 45. So 5 times 9 is equals to 45. And 3 times 9 is equals to 27 for 3/5. Then 8/9, 8 times 5 is 40. 9 times 5 is 45. Now, 27/45 is less than 40/45. So therefore, 3/5 is less than 8/9. Let's continue with comparing fractions and decimal. Now, as you notice in comparing fractions, rewriting two fractions with a common denominator makes it easier to compare them. The same idea applies when comparing fractions and decimals. Because every fraction can be written as a decimal, converting the fraction to a decimal lets you compare the two numbers on the same footing. Let's look at the example 15. Fill in the blank with less than, greater than, or equal to make a true statement. 2/5 blank 0.455. Now, if you change 2/5 into fraction, you can divide the numerator by the denominator, as we learned on the first part of this video. So 2 divided by 5 is equals to 0.4. Or to have the same number of digits, you can add 2 zeros. 0.4 thousandths is lesser than 0.455 thousandths. So therefore, 2/5 is lesser than 0.455 thousandths. Let's look at another example. Example 16. Fill in the blank with less than, greater than, or equal to make a true statement between 3/10 and 0.29. So again, we can convert 3/10 to decimal by dividing the numerator by the denominator. So 3 divided by 10, the answer is 0.3. To have the same number of digits, so we can add 0, so we have 30 hundredths. So 30 hundredths is greater than 29 hundredths. So therefore, 3 over 10 is greater than 29 hundredths. Okay, let's proceed to try out. Again, you can pause the video and answer question number 1 to 5. And then when you're done, continue the video to check your answer. Here are the answers. Number 1 is greater than. Number 2 is less than. Number 3 is greater than. Number 4 is less than. Number 5 is greater than. Okay, another tryout. Use greater than, less than, or equal to compare the given fractions and decimals. Again, pause the video, answer questions 6 to 10, and then continue with the video to check your answer. Here are the answers. Number 6, less than. Number 7, greater than. Number 8, greater than. Number 9, less than. Number 10, less than. How many correct answers did you get? Okay, that's the end of our video. And if you want to know more about our school and about our programs, you can visit our page www.phuketpals.org, or you can contact us through our Facebook, Phuket PALS. You can also call us and send us a message on 081-417-0978.